Thank you so much everyone for coming along tonight. My name is Heather Smith and this is the Cloud Accountants and Advisors Meetup Group. And today we're going to have Thomas, as you know, talking about e-commerce integration. So we're all very excited about that. It's a topic that frequently comes up in forums as a issue that people are unravelling, or a nightmare that they're unravelling. And hopefully Thomas has all the answers for us, or at least can point us in the right direction. So before I get started, I'd just like to thank our sponsors. So initially, our first sponsor is River City Labs, who are the venue sponsor for tonight. As you can see, you're here in the beautiful River City Labs, and this is a tech co-working space. So if you need to have some space to come and rent for a day, Thomas was just telling me he actually comes here and rents it for a day. You can come and rent for a day, a week, a month, a year. You can come and rent rooms so you can have your whole team working here. It is really quite cheap, and the internet speed is really quite seriously fast. And there's always lots and lots and lots of events happening here, so you can sort of turbocharge your learning abilities if you're sort of interacting and networking with the constant events that are coming on here. Second person I'd like to thank. Let's see if I'm going the right way, see? For a tech event. The last tech event I presented at, all the electricity went. I was just on stage going, la-di-da-di-da. So, the second sponsor for tonight's Receipt Bank, and I should probably get Cassandra to talk about Receipt Bank because I could hear it telling people how wonderful it was. Do you want to share with us?
Receipt Bank's wonderful. Yes. 30 to 80% efficiencies, depending on the client and how you interact with it. So
it's a bills and receipts scanning solution that extracts the information and pushes it into your online software. And so it's something that you can really help your clients with by having a solution like Receipt Bank in place. We'd also like to thank Expensify. Expensify is an expense management solution. If you are submitting expense claims in the business, that was when Expensify comes in really handy. And it's really useful if you have corporate credit cards in place. Can really minimise the reconciliation around that. And employees who need to claim money love it because it's really neat and trim, and they get to claim all the money that's owed to them. Even if they're in Bora Bora. Simple Fund 360, another sponsor for tonight. This is a self-managed super fund. It's an online solution. I've used this fund for this solution for a decade now. It has bank feeds just like you would have with your online accounting. And all of your data can feed into it, and it means that you as the accountant can do the work, but the client can actually log in and see reports of how they're tracking through the year, depending on how you're updating it. CAS 360, which is your asset compliance tool. If you're doing asset compliance, that can really streamline your submissions with ASIC. And the outsourced accountants, who are an organisation based down in Surfers Paradise. And what they'll do is they'll assist and support you in outsourcing and finding a team overseas. They have 4 buildings in the Philippines now, and they provide wonderful support to their staff in the Philippines. I think they now have 700, and you can engage with them and take on a full-time staff member if you need extra support in your business. They provide social club there, they provide training there, and they provide holiday leave and sick leave, and so it's sort of a business environment there, but you get the opportunity to expand the capacity in your firm using a solution like that. And MinuteDoc. MinuteDoc is a time tracking solution, really handy, neat little time tracking solution that you can have on your mobile device or on your computer, and you can you can record all of your time, whether it's billable or unbillable, whether it's to tasks, whether it's to projects, and then at the end of the period when billing comes, you can download everything and just push it directly into an invoice. So a very neat way to maintain your time tracking, and that's something that I've used for years as well. Oh, and N2. N2 is an online ERP solution that actually connects in with our online accounting solutions. So if if your clients are bursting out of sort of the normal boundaries of the solution that they're in, and they need to go to a more robust ERP type solution, take a look at N2. They're based in New Zealand and sort of offer the full capacity that you would expect from an ERP solution. Okay, that was it. That's everything there. So I'll let you swap over that while I introduce you if you want. So tonight we have Thomas. Thomas is a chartered accountant and business advisor who helps online businesses grow, scale and conquer. With 10 years experience working with clients ranging from large domestic companies through to complex multinationals both here in Australia and in Hong Kong, using e-commerce as well as other online businesses is a passion for Thomas, especially the back end and the financial function of business, so that's good for us. Creating a healthy finance function to suit your e-commerce business requires the best technology to automate, make an efficient supply chain and harness the most important asset, your financial information.
Thanks everybody for coming and welcome to how to integrate your online store and inventory solution and other e-commerce insights. Hi, my name's Thomas Sparks. I'm the director of Infinity 22. If you'd like to get in contact with me, please, on social media, my social media handle is the same for all my accounts. It's just at Infinity22Co. And obviously, if you want to get in contact with my email, you can contact them directly at thomas@infinity22.co. Okay, thank you. Alright, tonight, so the agenda for tonight, I'm going to go through, firstly, the e-commerce business model. What is Shopify? What is Dear? Features and benefits of both Shopify and Dear. Which e-commerce businesses are suited to this model? How they integrate with each other and also the accounting solution. Other add-ons to aid your e-commerce solution. And what the advisor needs to know when recommending the solution. Finally, at the end, I'll just have a little chat to tell you a little bit about Infinity 22, and then we'll have some questions. Okay, so the e-commerce business model. Okay, so the e-commerce business model, there's three areas that you really need to have a look at, and that is firstly the business classification, secondly the business model, and thirdly the product model. So firstly, business classification. Is this business actually selling to? Are they selling to businesses? So B2B would be a business, or are they selling to consumers? So moving on to the business model. Are they drop shipping, or are they wholesaling and warehousing? So what this really means is that if they're drop shipping, I don't know, does everybody here know what drop shipping is? Yeah, so I saw some nods there, some blank faces. Okay, so drop shipping is basically when you have when your customer goes to your online store and they purchase on your online store, but as the business owner, you don't actually hold any stock. You actually send, so as soon as they buy, you go and contact the supplier and just send it straight to them. So you don't hold any stock. Okay. Now, other things to look at as well. If you're white labeling or if you're manufacturing, I guess. So white labeling, you're just buying products and just putting your logo on it. Also, if it's subscription-based, e-commerce solution, or finally, if it's part of an omni-channel. So you've already got like a retail store, but you want to add on a shop. an online shop. Okay, so final part we'll go into is just the product model. Now, so here is like what are you exactly selling? So are you selling like just one single product? So for instance, like Xero, the accounting software, they only sell Xero. That's a single product versus like multiple products. The other way is like, are you categorizing? Are you selling one category? So you might be selling multiple products, but are you just selling one category? So like an example of that would be like a white t-shirt company. So all different types of white t-shirts, but they're selling just one category, as opposed to like some dresses, shirts, all different categories of items. Last 2 points that we've got here is affiliates, using affiliates, so other people selling your products, and obviously like a hybrid of any of those products. Okay. Okay, so what is Shopify? Okay, Shopify is an e-commerce website building platform. It's really easy to use. You can sell pretty much anything on it. There's only a couple of things I think you can't sell, and it's like gambling, illegal, things that are illegal. It's like you can sell everything on it. Okay, so it was founded in 2004 by a bunch of Canadian snowboarders. They wanted to sell snowboarding gear and stuff on the internet, but at the time, all the current players all had clunky operations. So what they decided to do is make their own e-commerce solution, and as a result, Shopify was born. Now it's a listed company and trades all over the world. Great thing I like about Shopify is that it's not overly complicated. You don't really need to know how to program. I've actually created my own website myself, and I'm an accountant, so you don't need any programming there. But it's used by big companies as well. So even Tesla, Budweiser, they all use Shopify in some part of their website. If you guys do get a chance, please use the free trial. So just go on there, have a go, fiddle around, see what it's like, and just get a feel for it as well. One last point here, which I'll go into further depth later, is there's also a plugin marketplace and a partner program, so that might be of some interest. Okay, so what is Dear? Okay, so Dear Inventory is comprehensive inventory management system, which can be used to manage your stock and your staff members. Founded in 2012 in Australia. Can be used in small businesses through to enterprise level. So that's what's good about, I find, with Dear. Like you can just be starting out, so your business has been running for a couple of years, you need to use an inventory solution, but you can keep that inventory solution for a while. So you don't have to jump to another inventory system because you're getting too big. What Dear says, they say it's ideal for manufacturers and also e-commerce. The reason behind this is Dear actually has an inbuilt manufacturing, so you can do bill of payments and that sort of stuff inside the system. So, which can be quite complex if you're just doing it in Excel and prone to mistakes. The other thing with the e-commerce side, which is probably more important to this conversation, is that it has the ability so that you can you're better at managing your all your stores, all your sales channels. So using this as your hub. This also has a 14-day trial, and it also integrates with many apps and has a partner program as well. Okay, features and benefits of Shopify and Dear. Okay, so Shopify, like I said before, easy to use and integrate. The reporting that you get out of it is actually pretty comprehensive, but you can only really access it on the $79 per month package. So what that means, on the basic version, you're not really going to get that as much functionality out of it. There is a plugin marketplace, and I think I was speaking to someone tonight. Like, for instance, you can use a lot of these tools that are in the plugin markets as opposed to just using additional like accounting software or add-ons that way. So, for instance, I'll give you an example. There's one report from one of the reporting plugins where you can actually get help you reconcile your PayPal. So you've got that in there because everybody knows when you get PayPal, it's just got code on it. You don't actually know which exact sale it's for. Okay, so now I just want to go to the partner program. If you have a client on Shopify, sign up for the partner program. It's free. If you refer any clients to it, you get 2 months subscription as a bonus. You can probably pass that on to the client. But the best thing about it is that you can go into any of your clients' actual Shopify stores, get any information that you need, and it does not affect the amount of users. So it's kind of similar to, I don't know if anyone here, so it's like Zero, like you're the invited user there. Okay, so moving on to Dear. Okay, so I've kind of tailored this for e-commerce here, but in general here you've got an ability, so Dear will become your sales and purchases hub. So where all your inventory comes in, all your sales channels are managed through Dear. Now, having that makes it a lot easier to manage. So moving on, you've got a B2B portal. So what Dear actually do, they actually have it's like a plugin, but it's actually created by Dear, where it's an add-on. What this is you can integrate with your website so that people, other businesses, can just log on and use the business-to-business portal. I was actually talking to someone about this recently. He actually made his own portal, business portal, and he was selling contact lenses to optometrists. And I told him about it. I said, "Oh, you can just do it through your accounting system." What he was actually doing was taking him heaps of time to do, because all these transactions would go through his portal. Then he'd have to fiddle around and figure out how many sales and all that stuff, and then add it all into MyHelp. So having a system like this, a B2B portal, it integrates straight with your Dear system. All those sales invoices are already in there. You know when those orders, you can basically tell your send all the products off to your customer. It also has pick, pack, and ship functionality with it. So kind of just to aid with the whole process of getting the products to the clients or customers as soon as possible. So it just adds to that, at which, if you're just using Excel spreadsheets, you wouldn't be able to get that benefit. Now, Dear has, so any people who do like bookkeeping or virtual CFO or anything like that, do some advisory, you'd be happy to know there's extensive reporting inside Dear. So anything, you can look at like products, profitability, so you can drill it down as much as you want, pull out that data. So it's quite extensive there. Now the partner program also, there is a partner program with it, and I think you get about 20% commission on each person you have, or each business you have on Dear. So, and that's just constantly of their subscription revenue. So it's an incentive to have more people on Dear, I guess. Okay, so which e-commerce businesses are suited to this model? Okay, so I guess with this, you just got to ask a couple of questions about the businesses, the e-commerce business in question, and that would be like, are they? So we firstly establish it's an e-commerce business. And then I guess you just got to go through, like, are they manufacturing? If they're manufacturing, you should probably have them on something like Dear, because the complexity and time wasted is, if you're paying $199 a month, it's worth having something like that. If you've got a single sales channel, so it's just one Shopify store, I guess probably it's not really a need. But if you're selling on like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, a whole bunch of different. Etsy?
Question, what about Shopify stores in different currencies?
Yeah, it's multi-currency.
Can you repeat that so the video can hear that question?
A US facing store and an Australian facing store.
Okay, yes. Okay, so the question. Okay, so the question was, what if the stores have different currencies? So you might have two different stores.
One US facing, one Australian.
Yep, the US facing one and just an Australian facing one. Okay, so the way, obviously, whatever the entity's functional currency will be. So the functional currency is Australian dollars. So Dear will convert everything just the same way Xero does into that functional currency.
So you have both those stores feeding into a singular Dear.
Fingers, and then it will just come back in the functional currency. Which is, okay. Okay, so the next thing, so sales channel, multiple sales channels. That's more of an indicator to jump on to a system like this. If you have a B2B element and you need like a portal, another reason to have it as well. But I guess the most important points here is if you're holding a large amount of stock, or you've got a large number of stock keeping units, so SKUs, then I guess you're going to be put on one of these systems anyway. So like if you've got over 2,000 products on your system already, and you need to track them all, you should be jumping on a system. You can't use Xero, like you just wouldn't get the functionality out of it. And I guess the last 2 points, if you've got like warehousing issues, so if you've got in different places, so if you've got different warehousing, you can track that through Dear. Okay, how they integrate with each other and the accounting solution. So firstly, Shopify and Dear. Okay, so sales are pushed into Dear from Shopify. With that, the payments as well. So customer puts a payment, that payment shows that sales has been paid. And then in return, which I'll go into later, reflects in Xero. Customer data is linked between Shopify and Dear. So anything you update in both systems will appear in the respective system. So you save time there. Fulfillment information. This is important. When you send products out to the client, and it will feed back up into Shopify to let that client know that their product is on their way. Probably the most important thing I hear of the way that these two communicate to each other is the catalog. So you can update all your products and everything in Dear, so your whole store catalog. You can link that. That can go straight into it. And then I guess the last point I want to put in here, which is related to the catalog, is you can do a bulk listing. So you can just put a whole bunch of different products in at the end of the month. Yeah. Okay, so so that was the top part. So that was Shopify linking with Dear. Now we're moving on to Xero and Dear. Okay, so first, obviously, Xero, all your chart of accounts, tax rules, and payment terms will push from Xero into Dear. And then from Dear to Xero, so now Dear is kind of like your hub where you do all your sales and all your inventory purchases and all that sort of stuff. So all bills and purchases, all credit notes, all sales quotes, sales invoices, credit memos, all that sort of stuff will come from Dear now. So you don't use Xero for any of those features.
Is it a two-way sync? So if an update happens in Dear.
So it's only from Dear. So Dear will be just your hub where you make all your trading sales. So all your trading sales and pretty much anything in relation to gross profit of that trading income
if it updates, if it changes in Dear, does the change push through to Xero automatically?
Yes, so it'll push into Xero, but it's only one way. So if you earn other income in Xero and you put it in Xero, it won't push it into Dear.
Or if you change credit notes or invoices, anything in Xero, it doesn't push back to Dear and you end up with a nice mess. It's going to take some time to
Many
manage.
options.
But then that's a good point that you probably want to. So yeah, saying there's a mess using Dear, but yeah, that is a good point because, but that keeps you using Dear as the main source. Everything needs to come out of Dear. That's your hub now. Okay. So both ways, any payments. So I just briefly spoke before about you receive payment in your Shopify store. So that when you open up your Xero, you'll automatically see that payment also attached. So it helps with reconciliation. And I guess any customer vendor details as well. Another thing I'll probably want to point out is you can actually consolidate all the sales for the Shopify store. So because when you have a Shopify, when you each day they'll just send all the sales just as one lump. You can actually consolidate it so that all of them be at the same. So they'll be able to match them. It'll be a bit easier to match. Okay.
So you're saying bring it in a bulk per day rather than transaction by transaction?
Yeah, so you can you've got the option to an integration process of actually just grouping all the transactions for the day. Yeah. Okay, so other add-ons to aid your e-commerce solution. So I've made this fine flowchart, which I'll be able to send to everybody if they want. So up at the top, you can see up there all the sales channels. I'll send this through to you. Okay, so up the top, you can see our sales channels. So Shopify, eBay, Amazon, Etsy. All that information comes through into Dear. Okay. On the other side, integrations from PayPal, Stripe will also come into Dear and will be recognised in Xero when you're doing the accounts as well. As I said before, any payments that go into Xero or into Dear will also be recognised. Okay. So now that kind of covers all information coming, like all revenue inflows coming of data. The other side of things, which I thought I would like to show you, is the supplier side of things. So I've got here Receipt Bank. Just use Receipt Bank. Just make sure you use Receipt Bank not for any of the like inventory purchases, because having the inventory, they're kind of like separate. There's no integration at the moment, and if there was, they would be pretty messy. So just keep everything else that is not inventory related in Receipt Bank, and that probably can't automate the process. Okay, so and then I've just got a USB scanner there. So that's probably an easy way to log in new stock. You get stock in, you scan it in. Okay, so last point I want to bring up here is just the order fulfillment. Now, ShipStation is a great app. You have over, I think it's like over 50 or 200 carriers worldwide. So you can use this order fulfillment app to just to be able to kind of automate the whole process. Automate the whole process of shipping it to the client. So being able to ship it to them as fast as possible. So features of that are you can actually all the stickers and everything for the relative carriers. So for instance, if you're selling one product to America, you might want to use DHL or UPS or FedEx. If it's local, you might want to use Australia Post or something, or Star Trek, something like that. So you can use it integrates with all those different providers. So that's everything. Like I said before, I will be able to send this through to everybody.
Sorry, could I just ask a question then?
Yeah.
How you said that Dear is sort of like the source of truth. just on, because you know how you got a scanning gun there, just on stock take, does that mean that your inventory system in Dear, or when it comes to your stock take, depending on which country you're in? Can you talk us through that?
Oh, okay, sure. So if you want to
repeat the question.
Okay, so the question was if you want to. So the question was if you want to, if you've got different different locations where stock's being accounted for. So in this circumstance, yes, you can do that. So when you scan everything in, so just say you've got a US, you've got a US warehouse, and you've also got a warehouse in Hong Kong. So whoever's use that, they use a different USB scanner or something like that. They would scan it in, put it when they import it in, they'd say which warehouse it is. That would go into that warehouse's tally of inventory there. So yeah, you can do multiple areas of that.
Does it go down to lot based? You do lot management in Dear? So in other words, I've got a warehouse, I know exactly that on that shelf in that space I should have 5 of those widgets.
Well, I'll have a look into that for you and get back to you.
Oh, it does? Oh, excellent. Thank you,
Yes, it is.
Go team.
All right. Sweet.
Hey, can I just ask one more question, sorry?
Yep.
With Dear, in terms of your costs, like your cost of goods sold when they're in production,
Yeah.
does the Dear track which stage in production the actual units in?
Oh, so you're saying like bill payments.
Oh,
So you're saying like it's in work in progress.
Putting my process together of stock, I'm creating a car or I'm creating a...
Yeah, that's I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So the question was, can Dear in the manufacturing process be able to tell you what stage it's in?
For each part of the cost.
Actually, I think I'd get back to you on that one. Tell you the truth. Does anyone else know that? Do you, no? No. Well, I'll get back to you. I'll get your details at the end. And I'll get back to you on that. Okay. What the advisor needs to know when recommending the solution. So I guess in here, create an internal process for onboarding. So this is, I think, it's pretty important. If you're just a bookkeeping or accounting firm, and you don't really do too much implementation, or you're starting to do it, this is a really important kind of get this process going. So firstly, when you do the process, have these four things of identifying, qualifying, implementing, training, and support. So identifying, you can just use the tools that you've already got. So you can use like Xero HQ to figure out who has Shopify, who has other solutions, but they're not exactly utilizing an inventory solution at present moment. So you can figure out who when at tax time or whenever you see them next, to have that conversation with them. The next stage, I guess, was figure out a qualifying process. So just like I spoke before about having which e-commerce business is suited to this model, just go through that, kind of develop your own. I like to have like a tally. So like, yes, they need a B2B, yes, have a tally. If they're over a certain amount, I would say, yeah, you should probably have, it'd be wise to have an inventory system. Now, the final, I guess the next stage is implementation. So you can either go down 2 roads. You can either implement it yourself and learn how, or get some staff members to start learning how to do it, and then bring that in-house, or you can find another partner, another supplier out there who you can partner with back in be able to deliver the product. So you just need to make that choice and go from there. Final point I want to bring up is just the training and support. So this is what you want, I guess, like if you're an accounting or bookkeeping firm, or if you do some other types of financial advisory, I think it's really important that you get the right solution for your clients. This will lead into other revenue streams. So advisory work, bookkeeping work, management accounting. So any of those sort of other revenues, and will make your work easier. Just like Xero has made everyone's life easier. Okay, so sweet. And then obviously the training, you can partner with someone to be able to do that. Okay, so that's what I think. So moving on to the last page about me, about business. That's okay. Okay, just thought I'd just say, I'll be very brief, guys. Okay, so we're a accounting firm based in Brisbane. We do have operations in Hong Kong as well. Not very many, not much. We are partners in Shopify, Dear, and Xero. We service the following industries: e-commerce, trades and construction, agencies, so graphic design, stuff like that, plus others as well. We'd love to help, obviously. We'd love to help in like technology implementation and technology support. We do use Dear, Xero, Workflow Max, and Spotlight reporting. So I feel that having the best product, so what you think is the best you want to work with. So rather than having like a whole bunch of different products that you can implement, I just think it's best to be the master of one. Or not the master, but definitely, have the focus. And I believe that these products are the best.
Can I just ask a question? Dear Workflow Max, is there an integration that's been developed for that? I heard that correctly on the grapevine.
So
Because Workflow Max doesn't run your inventory, but does
not at the moment,
There's
no.
no talk about that.
No. At the moment, actually, there is something coming out for, I don't know if you know, with Dear, they're trialing a beta phase with Zapier. So there'll be a whole bunch of other. So there might be another something else. So another program that you might be able to use for forecasting.
Workflow Max doesn't integrate with Zapier, does it?
No.
No, it doesn't integrate with much.
Oh, they're changing it. Like
They're opening up the API.
They're opening up the API. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Okay. I guess the other side of things that we do is business advisory, tax and compliance, just like any other accounting firm. We also do outsource finance, so like into management reporting, also outsource bookkeeping, everything. So we're just like any other accounting firm. We just do implementation as well. Yeah. Okay, does anyone else have any questions? I think all the questions have been asked.
I've got another one. Do you need to have Dear in between Shopify and Xero, or can Shopify pull straight into Xero? Repeat the question.
Sure. Okay, so the question was, can Shopify integrate directly just with Xero? Yes, it can. Yes, it can. It can direct, and that's probably good. Like I said before, with the Xero HQ, going through, seeing the clients that are just using Shopify and Xero, because those clients may be qualified to have a more sophisticated inventory system. Yeah.
Does that hook in with Xero's inventory? Or is it just sales pushing through?
It's just sales.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah.
One of the things about Neato, which is an e-commerce solution here in Brisbane, was they said they wanted to work with established or bigger businesses. They didn't want to work with you when you just started out. Does Shopify suit that business that's just starting out? That
Shopify.
small, tiny pop-up
Okay, so the question
with dreams.
Yeah, so the question was, Neato doesn't really want to work with businesses that are just starting out. Shopify, definitely you can use it as your platform if you're just starting out. like I said, you can take a day to set up your actual store. Integration, if you're just integrating it with Xero just by itself, seamless. Like it's an easy implementation to do. But yeah, that's all I can say on that.
What are the mistakes people are making during implementation? Because there's a lot of raucous in the forums about the implementations and reconciliations.
I guess that's probably, that's a good question.
Either the implementation or the day-to-day running of it. Mistakes must be happening some way.
I guess it's probably more or less, it's more like the actual understanding of how everything flows. That's the main issue that you've got. So what I like to do is create the diagram. So that diagram like that, just showing you how it will work, and kind of use, I'm an accountant, but I'm going to say this, like your engineering side of thinking how everything works together. So using that is a really good tool just to start with the planning process. So it all comes back to, what it really comes down to is just the planning of it and starting from scratch, I guess. Yeah. Yep, no.
Do we have any other questions?
No.
How did you think it related between Neato and Neato e-commerce inventory and Shopify, Tracy?
Neato, you mean Neato versus
Yeah.
Shopify? Neato is really trying to corner that vertical. So instead of having to have an inventory management solution of a shopping cart and a GL product, you've got a GL product and one other thing. So they're trying to really blend the shopping cart and the inventory solution. Having said that, the entry point for Neato is much higher than Shopify, even though you mentioned that it's a $79.95. There's a much cheaper, I believe, subscription around $20 a month, where you can get a sweet little plug-in and a reasonable functionality.
Yeah.
And that is a market Neato's not interested in. So I think that they're definitely pitching. The other thing between Neato and Shopify I'm finding is, if you're a visual person, and it's very important to have clean, crisp themes, Shopify has 20-fold selection over Neato. And that's super important to retailers, people that are like trying to put a visual presentation out. And so Shopify's just been around longer. It's got so much more choice, and it's cheaper, and on balance, far easier to get going with than Neato. So I can see why Neato's sort of eyeing on the bigger retailers that more time for their budget.
So, well, I guess if that's all the questions, I'd like to thank everybody again for coming. Well, thank you very much.